All right. What's up, everybody? I'm Godwin with the Take Detroit show here in Detroit. We have interesting conversations with interesting people, and today's Daily Take is going to be with our wonderful guest. But before we get into that, a word from our sponsors.
We would like to, first of all, welcome you once again to the Take Detroit show. I'm Brandon Colvin, and we are really excited to showcase our sponsor. Got it here. Element CBD water. They are an alkaline water that also has 10 milligrams of CBD. We are happy to have them as a sponsor, and you can find them at Element CBD Water across all social media channels and at www.elementcbdwater.com. Shout out to Elements.
All right. So today we've got a special guest, Aric Klar with Quality Roots, as well as Toyology. We're going to go right into it and learn a little bit about the business here. So first things first, why don't you tell me about what you were doing before the wave of the widget craze?
Before the widget craze, I was just sincerely focused on child development through play. You know, as I was telling you guys before, I was somebody who just didn't get through the school system too well. I was always moving, but always loved to learn just in different ways. And that's really what Toyology became, was a place where you could find all this cool product that was fun, engaging, but uniquely educational.
You guys have a slogan or something, like a brand, like a Pillars?
Yeah, Toyology, where toys aren't just toys.
Toys aren't just toys.
Yeah.
I think you said it's like fun and then education. No, keep going.
And then, you know, it really turned into a business that focused on getting things to our stores as kids or parents wanted things way beyond some of these big box retailers could get them. So, you know, focus on trend management, focus on community, focus on just building a household brand that people could trust and people wanted to support. And that turned into, I think, people recognizing me, my brothers, my family as, you know, more significant entrepreneurs in the community. And it's a business that's still running today and one that's developed greatly.
What community was it?
As far as what?
What was the start of the community?
No, I'm just saying, as far as just being parts of the communities that we were in, whether it was West Bloomfield, Royal Oak, where like Royal Oak had a huge groundbreaking for the new police department and fire station. So we decided to do this thing where we built Michigan's largest sand pit, and we filled it with all these unique, fun, old school fossils and like little eggs that had toys inside, and those little diggers for kids that come out, and shovels for kids to initiate the groundbreaking of these facilities. So like, you know, just tying that into whatever these cities had going on, and again, just trying to be staples in these places.
How did you come into understanding the importance of learning through play?
So I owe all the credit to my mom, but also somebody who understood that her oldest son, Aric, could not sit still in the classroom. And my mom always had a passion for toys, and she had toys in her pharmacy selling them. That's how I got interested in them. And she used some of these items with me, and I just got more engaged with it and learned more from it. And then I realized, like, this is fun. And I started selling things on eBay, like Beanie Babies or all these other things that weren't fun. They were just other toys. I mean,
right.
Beanie Babies and eBay to me was like, you know, a real kid in a candy store. That was my game.
Did you sell a lot of Beanie Babies?
We had a lot of fun with Beanie Babies from me being 9 years old to like 13, 14 years old.
I remember my grandmother had an entire closet.
People would shake when these things came out.
Man, I mean, like, I couldn't believe it.
Oh, that's
I
crazy.
remember the first time I saw it, I didn't know that she had been collecting them. And then I went to their house one day, and I think I was in the back. It wasn't like I wasn't supposed to be there, but you don't always go into like the private rooms in the rear of the home. And I went into the closet, and I mean, Beanie Babies,
it was crazy.
Racks on racks.
It was crazy.
Beanie Babies.
The good old days. So our toy stores have like, each store or as a company, we carry like 5,000 different products. So I mean, it's a lot of stuff. And now it's turned into educational based, trend based, and like family play. Like, you know, we always joke, families that play together stay together. So,
do you guys find yourself sitting on a lot of product that doesn't sell?
No, I think we do a really good job at product curation. Of course, we have clearance stuff, you know, always happening because you have to. But that's why we do a lot of trial runs with things to understand, you know, the turns and how many items we can sell weekly or monthly or quarterly per location. And then, if we want to put a marketing initiative behind something, that's when you really buy in, and you buy in as a company, you buy in as a movement, you buy in as a culture.
Right. You probably don't know this, but like, what would you say in your career as a toy purveyor was the hottest selling item that moved through your shelves? Was it
the hottest? So the item that
most sold unit item with the most sold unit?
Item that I've sold. Let's take fidget out of that equation then, because fidget was absolutely crazy because that's hand down the item. But the item that we sold the most of was this item called Blocks. School item Light Bright. Remember Light Bright? So you just put those little pieces in.
Yeah.
So Pixel was a board with a bunch of similar pieces. You would put these pieces in, then you would snap a picture of it with your iPad, and it would automatically take those colors and turn it into a digital pixel. You guys should actually use it here. And it allowed the kids to build their own games or to build their own, moving pieces from these pictures. And the item blew up. It blew up on Kickstarter. We were one of the only stores to have it at the time. It took Target 12 months to get it in. We must have sold 10, 15,000 units in a 6-7 month period.
Wow.
How much does each unit cost?
Retail was, I think, $39.99.
And what's it called?
It's called Pixel.
Pixel.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's fascinating because you said that it took Target like 10 to 12 months, and we were talking earlier about the death of Toys R Us, right? With the widget sale. So in your case, like, you guys saw the trend management being one of your pillars. You guys saw the trend. Was that you? Was that your mom?
Did
somebody say
it's all of us. I mean, we're reactive. We're going to trade shows every other week. Like, toy business, I was traveling every other weekend in a different city looking for products, going to other stores, going to trade shows, whatever it was. And the minute you see something, you just have to capitalize on it.
So what did it for the widget for you?
So what did it for the widget for me was that I made my first trip to China in 2016. And I witnessed 2 factories being built around one item, a fidget product. And
That's usually a good sign.
And the minute that I saw that, I dove into it. They were building out these factories with the mindset that this patent was about to expire on this fidget spinner. There was a patent on it. It expired in 2017. A teacher did not renew this patent. And China tracks trends, right? China tracks trends. So
you wouldn't think about stuff like that.
So
right?
I'm out there, and I didn't sleep for probably 17, 18 days. It felt like out there, just like, how ahead are these people than us? They're tracking trends stronger. This is why I want to go to Japan in the near future. Like, the amount of things that begin in that market is insane. They can teach us a lot about ourselves, about the products we use, everything. So I think that was another place be as on top of something.
If I saw 2 warehouses, factories getting built about something, I'd want to go invest in it too.
It was wild.
How could you not? Now, in the toy industry is pretty unique.
Yeah.
You have pretty wide profit margins, but you're also subject to a customer base that can be pretty changeable in terms of whims. Like you talked about the fidget spinners, they were hot for a while, and then poof.
Of course.
How do you manage that sort of risk, and we also talk about folks like Toys R Us, companies like Toys R Us who are now out of business. How does Toyology mitigate that part of the business?
It's a great question. Not buying too deep of something unless you know it's selling. So that's something that we're always careful of, right? The dollars that you don't have on the shelf, as far as being in product on the shelf, can be used to help market the products that you need or want to try to sell. I think the biggest way to mitigate the risk is to know your consumers best. And again, being a small business, just like we are in the cannabis space, I pride myself on knowing our customers best. I know what they're looking for. That's why I'm so attached to these schools, or a couple kids at each school who can give me the little clues here and there. Giving a kid a $25 gift card can tell you a lot about what the kids are talking about at school as far as new trends. So I think just like being applicable and caring and listening, I think, help us mitigate that a lot.
How does being a small operation, a small toy operation, give you a particular agility? Like we talked about how the larger companies, the big box stores, they're unable to maybe source a product
Yeah.
as quickly. Can you talk about the agility that comes with being a small player in this particular industry?
Yeah, it's just, well, number one, you have to have the risk. You have to be able to take risks. You have to understand that, because I think that's the number one key to agility. Is if you can't do that, you can't move as like you need to. But I think for us, it's I don't know if I can even put my tongue on this one. It's I think it's traveling and seeing what's changing. Like what's happening in the West Coast versus the East Coast, or what type of music are kids listening to, or what are schools asking for? Like there was this whole thing that the kids can no longer bring some sort of hamming up to the school, or something like fidgets, right? So then I'm like, okay, what else have they not crossed off that list? Like a putty, right, or something like that. So I guess being reactive, again, I know it's the same answer as before, but being reactive allows us to make those changes faster.
So you're also tapping into the trends on like a really ground level.
Oh,
you're talking to students in the schools. You're
100%.
learning what the schools are prohibiting students from bringing into the classroom.
In 2017 or 18, we started a Shark Tank program, where I would go into these schools with 3 or 4 entrepreneurs. We'd split ourselves up 2 and 2 or 3 and 3, whatever was there, and these kids had 3-4 week long projects to give us pitches on products. And if you were in my category, it was toys. If you were in these other people's categories that were like sustainability, you were able to create a pitch for that. And when I'd be taking notes. I'd be talking to these kids left and right. A kid came to me with a self-solving Rubik's Cube idea. I was like, this is genius. I can't solve a Rubik's Cube. I would pay for that product.
Absolutely.
And then that tells me that kids are looking at Rubik's Cubes again. So I increase my department of like that little moment.
And did it work? Did the trend follows?
Those are the hand manipulatives that I made to the classroom.
Wow.
So let's switch gears here, because you obviously have a wealth of knowledge coming from one field, and as we were discussing, you've taken this and transported it into a different field, the field of cannabis.
Yep.
What led you to coming into this industry to begin with?
So if you know me, you know that I've been trying to get into this business since before I was in the toy business, the right ways and the wrong ways. And the minute that this industry started to become real, tangible, and authenticated by like the governments of state government, I knew it was something that I had to at least understand how I wanted to be a part of it, from the investor side of things to actually operating to just making cool products. I didn't know at the beginning. I flew out west, traveled to some stores, checked them out, met with some processors early and growers early out there, just understood what people's friction points were, and like what was exciting versus like what wasn't.
How were you received when you went to kind of do this kind of recon work? Like, were people open and willing to share with you?
Yeah, the cannabis community is very open. I think that's as competitive as it is. Everybody wants. I believe that everybody really wants the best for each other.
So it's more like a coopetition.
Yeah, I feel it. Again, I think some people don't, or they don't want to be. But going out there helped me realize that it was right when California made the switch of all the unique laws they had, and legitimizing these retail stores, and me going into them and not getting the feeling that I know people were going into my toy store. I was like, dude, that's what it's missing. It's missing this real component of being able to walk in somewhere. If you need education, you get it. If not, you buy it and you bounce. And I think that's what I've created.
So how much of the identity of Quality Roots as a retail establishment is informed by the way you structured Toyology as a retail establishment?
I would say as parallel as 2 random companies could get.
Okay.
Yeah, from the type of people I want in it, to the type of vendors that I'm supporting, and their missions. At the end of the day, that's the coolest part about both businesses. There's so much product out there. That's especially in the cannabis space now. Like, who do we want to support? Like the guys from Michigan, I want to support them all day long. Like, the guys from Exotic Matter, Exotic Only. I want to support those guys until this business is done.
Is that because they're from Michigan?
It's because they're from Michigan. It's because they care. It's because they care about my staff as much as I do. It's because they're willing to help. With any aspect of our business. It's just like this collaboration is
It sounds like family.
if it can get to that point.
And it makes sense for you having, and toyology is a family business.
Family business.
Yeah, so it makes a lot of sense that you would have that sort of carry.
That's listen. You only got one life to live. Like mine's stressful as it already is. Me working with good people is why not? You have that choice.
Yeah, you always have that choice.
So,
Especially when you're the boss.
from those parallels, right? It seems like you've got education, trend setting, community, and fun as like
100%.
your fourth basis,
That's
right?
pretty valid. Yeah.
So when you set out to start your brand, you had how many when you first started?
How many team members?
How many locations?
We had one location in Battle Creek. That was it. I found this one location. I worked with the city. I got this license. We were supposed to open up on March 12th, 2020. Day before COVID was, the day after COVID was, NBA's done. I'm like, holy shit, this is over with. We ended up opening that store April 7th. I drove up there 2 hours there, 2 hours back every day for 4 months.
Wow.
I was a bud tender. I was an inventory specialist. I had every position to understand the type of people we needed to hire to each position, the positions that I couldn't even comprehend, so that I can understand the people that I could surround myself with. Because while I love learning new things, I don't need to learn new things to the point where people are professionals at.
Right.
I'm not that guy. I'm not naive. I like to support myself with fucking winners.
How many employees did you have starting off in March?
So that originally we hired 16 people for that store.
Okay.
I think 4 or 5 of them are still with us today. And have developed into different roles, which is awesome, like director roles or general manager roles, or
so
huge.
There's actually some employee development.
Oh, we try to focus on that as much as possible inside. Yeah.
A lot of people, when they think about the marijuana industry, I imagine they don't think like, oh, Quality Roots needs a director of marketing. Quality Roots needs a community engagement director.
Right.
Like what? How do you convey that to your compatriots when you're working with them?
Yeah, it's just, again, like I told you guys before, the industry is never getting smaller than it is today, which means we're always going to need new or different types of positions in the future. And if you think that there's a position that exists in the regular commerce setting that doesn't exist here, you're wrong. It exists here, and if not, probably stronger opportunities here. Whether that be financially or whether that just be for like well-being, it's and the employee discounts are nice. For me, it's just identifying people. I want them to love cannabis. I want them to have a passion for cannabis, but they haven't had to work in cannabis. Like, that's cool, but it's not needed. Yeah.
So can you clear something up for me? It depends on where you get your information from.
Well, you have a lot of people,
right? But you're the source, right? So I heard that Quality Roots didn't notify the city of Hamtramck that they were opening up a dispensary in Hamtramck, and so because of that, the city of Hamtramck closed the street in front of your place for half the year. Is that true?
So the way that I know it's not true is because if you recall, there was a sign on that road, big orange sign, construction sign, that said Quality Roots traffic only. So if they were really trying to do that, they would have never allowed that sign to be there. They would have never allowed attention on my business. So wherever getting that information from would be a false source. The Hamtramck situation for Quality Roots was very interesting. So the recreational statute is very different than the medical statute.
Right.
The medical statute is a statute that allows the municipality to decide if they're going to opt in. If not, they're automatically opted out. The adult statute was voter driven. So because it's voter driven, it's up to the city to either opt out. If not, they're opted in. So the exact opposite.
This is for on the recreational side.
There's over 1,500 municipalities in the state of Michigan. A couple of them, not just Hamtramck, a couple of them failed to make that opt-out decision by a specific date in 2019. I noticed that. I went to the city. I gave them the attestation that comes from the state saying, hey, from the marijuana regulatory agency to the city clerk, hey, here this is. They signed the document. I then take it to my potential landlord. We sign a potential lease. I then put building plans together. I put Quality Roots on the building plans. I submit those building plans to the city. They then give me the approval. I then built out. I got the entire store built out to the point where we were ready to go. And then there was a city issue with zoning. that is questionable, but I understand that there's right processes to go through. And then we went through those processes, and we got granted our ability to operate in Hamtramck. I'm
Can you talk about the issue with zoning?
Yeah, the issue with zoning was that our property, Hamtramck's an old city. It's backlogged more than you guys can imagine, and they had our property zoned as residential, which it's not. Attached to a gas station. It was an ex laundromat.
Right.
So we had to fix that. That's no problem.
Yeah.
That happens. That's zoning problems.
That's part of it. Yeah.
Forget marijuana. That happens. So
Yeah.
we ran into that, and we had to fix it. So the issue though is Hamtramck's a very diverse community. I believe the sign in front of the city says "the world in 2.2 square miles." So we have a lot of people who want us there, and we have a lot of people who don't. But I and my team work every day to make sure that the people there know that we're ethical operators, we're exemplary business people, and we want the best for the city. And while we're a new type of operation to the city, we've been there almost a year and a half. We haven't had any issues. If anything, we're trying to fix whatever's around our facility, and we hope that we drive more commerce to Hamtramck. We're going to be the lead sponsor of the Hamtramck Music Festival this year, which is going to be sweet. And again, whatever we can do to keep validating ourselves, that's all I can ask for.
And you're probably also their largest contributor, right, of taxes.
I think we got to be up there. We're running a very big and a lot of cool people to the city.
Right.
The amount of people that I've told about, Balkan House or Dos Loco Taco,
Yeah, no, people are coming into the city.
I'm trying.
Engaged
Young
in
Village,
commerce,
right? I'm trying.
Right, that's
Becoming ambassadors of sorts. And I think sometimes cities don't always realize the ways that businesses like yours can be leveraged to the benefit of the city and of the citizens and the
100%.
community.
Listen, if we were doing something wrong, it's a different story. But we do everything by the book at Quality Roots. It's not worth our licenses. It's not worth our business. It's not worth my family to do something wrong.
right. You don't want to be like those guys who got arrested for making $2,000 a week out of a vending machine in the back of their house, right? Yeah,
It's crazy.
Wow.
It's unreal. When
It's
you
pretty
hear
sophisticated, though.
That is pretty sophisticated.
when you hear
Can you
stuff
set that
like
up in my
this,
store?
Right?
do you think stuff like that harms the business, or things like that are
Listen,
progressing it forward?
I'm the type of person who believes if people have an opportunity to make money in the right way, they should do it.
Nothing wrong with making a buck.
Right. And listen, there's gray areas around things. And I get it. Am I the person to do those things? No. But I get that that's what people do. And listen, if that's what you need to do to put food on your family for your table, or food on the table for your family, that's what it is. I don't knock any hustle. I can't.
There's a lot of conversation, and I think in some circles, some fear about
Purchasing cannabis from dispensaries versus your local plug, for instance. How do you respond to that? I think there maybe are some legitimate concerns around that in terms of anytime you're processing a product on a large scale or at a large scale. Sometimes you might not. It's not as artisan. It's not as boutique. And I think what that means to some folks is maybe it's not as safe. Maybe some corners are being cut for production.
Exactly.
How do you respond to
Exact opposite. Okay? From the biggest growers in the state, listen, are some of them doing things wrong? Yeah. Am I working with them? No. Are some of the biggest guys in the state producing amazing product at ways that helps them mass produce products like people would mass produce tomatoes? 100%. But if I'm driving down the road and I see a tomato farmer outside, am I going to stop and buy those tomatoes still? Probably. Right? So, I understand that my biggest competitor is the streets. Right? And the only thing that I can continue to do is to validate what Quality Roots is, the types of quality products that we deliver, and the prices that we're starting to offer. Right? You can buy, as or hopefully you can buy an amazing ounce from my store for $100.
Sometimes 50.
Yeah, you can buy a crazy ounce from my store for $300, $400. But that product's coming from that craft cultivator that has 5 rooms, that has 6 employees, that play music for those plants. And for me, listen, I've gotten this product from multiple different avenues. At this point, safety is the most important thing. And in my store, every product is tested. And listen, do I have friends who still, sell their packs on the street and all that. 100%. Is it an amazing product? It's an amazing product. Do I know where it came from? No, I don't. But at the same time, you know, you see what's going on out there, man. Like, you have to be able to. The world's. Can I swear on this? This world's fucked up right now. And what people are doing to get over on people, whether it's, fentanyl and like that whole craze, and you just saw what happened in movement this past week with the fight.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Like, that's not ever happening in my business. So, I used to say you had to pay for security. Now it's the same price. Just get your product tested, and if not, trust the person. Trust your plug.
Well, what
Yeah. That's it.
What about like? So I hear all that, but I remember, and I'm like a late smoker. I didn't start smoking until halfway through college, like closer to after. No,
Yeah.
it was more
Me
like
too.
that's how I paid my rent. I just sold this stuff. But one thing that I've always thought is that the weed's getting so cheap now. How do you know if it's really like hitting like that? Like, what do you say to heat checkers? Like, can you verify with the streets that this is the hottest herb on the corner, or is it just commercial dispensary, which is typically what I
Yeah.
find in a lot of
Yeah,
anecdotal
so
conversations.
when I started this company, I thought there were 3 customers. I thought there was superior customers looking for that, that fire all day long. I thought there's that premium customer who's looking for the balance of value / I still want to show people I got that exotic bag. Or that value customer, which is like, oh, I need the highest THC for the cheapest amount of money. And there's 2 customers. There's the value customer and there's the superior customer. So that's what Quality Roots is catering to. We have our value product's amazing value product, but our superior product is, put it in check. I mean, what's in this product,
Are you impressive?
put it in check. If I'm coming right.
Hey.
And if you're coming into Quality Roots, our shelves are right. I'm a flower smoker. I'm picky. Ben, who buys all of our product, we're picky. We're flower snobs.
Okay.
Dan,
That's good to know.
Dan, who's in Battle Creek, every pack comes to his door. He's Canadian. If it doesn't pass his Canadian nose test, it's going back to the grill. We're not taking it in.
Okay.
So we're picky. We're flower guys.
That's what I was going to ask you. I mean, obviously the market for dispensaries in this area is flooded. There's a ton of dispensaries. So people have a lot of choice.
100%.
What is it about Quality Roots that would or should make me as a customer want to come into business with you versus someone else?
Yeah. I think that listen, people have an emphasis on quality. I think that everybody can have an emphasis on it. I think we're in line with the best at emphasizing quality. When it comes to trend management, having new products always in the store, turning stuff on, or staying relevant to pricing, nobody's doing a better job than us. And the most important reason are the people in the stores.
The people.
Yeah, Quality Roots is only the name on the building. The people in the stores make this business.
The times that I've been there, I can't attest to that.
And hold the products. Okay.
Customer
All right,
service
cool.
Every time I've gone, your staff has been really friendly. They've been helpful.
As you're talking, I'm just going to be bringing some of these products out that you got here.
So yeah, I just was curious about because I'd imagine that every dispensary owner says, "Hey, I've got the best stuff."
We're
100%. We're serious about the quality of our products.
And so I just really want to know. Okay,
products are all the same. I'll put anybody's team against my retail team. Bring it.
hands down.
No question. We run our business hour by hour, not week by week or month by month.
What difference do you find in taking that approach versus taking the hourly approach?
That our team can be reactive to our business's needs and our customers' needs
In the moment.
in the moment.
That's got to help too with your expansion, right? You got 4 locations now after just having 1. You started in 2020. It's now about to be 2023. That's some insane growth over the course of only 2 years. And you're opening 4 more. Is every single location that you're opening up the same, or do you have to draw on the qualities and expertise of this?
These locations are going to be identical. I think that's one thing that we're priding ourselves on is a lot of people change their location from market to market. And, I don't think Quality Roots is a ritzy place. I think it's a simple place. And that's all we're doing is, we want to be applicable to everyone everywhere.
Can you talk to us about some of these brands that you
Yeah,
brought
absolutely.
over?
What do we got
So
here today?
we got Noble Road, THC caramel chews.
Yeah.
I'm asking, like, are the ones you brought Michigan? Are the Basic Gelato? Are all these Michigan companies?
I'm bringing you exactly what I'm taking home.
Okay.
So Noble Road is a Michigan company. They have some amazing hash rosin products. I like hash rosin a little bit more because of the consistency, the purity, and that it's not through any like type of gas extraction like butane or anything like that.
For people who don't know, what is hash rosin?
Yeah, so hash rosin is THC and terpenes in its purest form. So to make wax, you're usually pushing product through, let's say, some sort of gas extraction, and with to make hash, you're using water and ice, and you're getting all the flavor off the plant. You're getting every piece off the plant that elevates your high, except for the plant matter. So that's what's into this product, which makes it, to me, as pure as it gets.
This one, it's pure THC in chew form.
Yep.
Okay.
And these caramels I brought them because I take them every night, but I know you're into good food. So this is an amazing product and one that I hope to carry for a number of years.
All right. And then when you come in, so is this coming through a vendor or purveyor that wants to get into the Quality Roots shelves? Yeah. They come into contact with you, or they come into contact with the Ben.
Yeah.
Ben samples the product, and then from there,
Ben has an amazing job.
Okay. So is it Ben tastes the product or consumes the product and says, "Yo, this is a Quality Roots product," or is there an additional process that goes through?
So Ben will always do that original check. He then carries out everything to our retail inventory manager, Gabe, who then discusses everything with his inventory managers to make sure that they're in line with us bringing in the product. Because if they're not getting in line with us bringing in the product, then the retail team is not going to be informed the way that we need them to be.
And is that through procurement? You have a procurement specialist?
Yep, exactly.
Okay, you got a team or like a person?
Full team.
That's amazing. I admire how you operate this. So one of the things I do know is that from municipality and city over, each of those places have different rule sets. Like in Hamtramck, for example, I'd imagine you didn't have to do any type of community engagement to open up there.
Exactly.
Whereas like a place like Detroit, you're probably going to have to get some city council buy-in or community buy-in. How does that work in your case, and who oversees that? What goes into that process from location to location?
So me and my two brothers, we identify the communities that we want to be a part of, and before we go and we make that attempt towards application or towards getting a license, we look to understand what that community's needs are, and if that's something we could even hit. Because if we can't, we know that we're probably not the right people for the license. But if we can, we then bust our ass to get this approval so that we can deliver on this proposed application period or proposed application setting.
So, what would you say is the most rewarding part of being an entrepreneur in the cannabis
space? And is it very different from the rewards of being an entrepreneur in the toy space?
The biggest reward is the amount of people that we're employing.
The amount of people that
we're employing.
On both sides.
Yeah.
You have 100 employees on the Quality Roots.
We're about to be at 100 employees on the Quality Roots.
And soon to be more with 4 additional locations.
We will be at 160 by the end of this year.
So Aric, I guess underneath that, if that's the best part, then it seems to underscore something in you in terms of your value system, what you value. Why is it that that's the best part? Why is it that employing people is so important?
I think in this business, I'm seeing so much passion from everybody who's brought into this business, and passion turns into profit. And I used to joke all the time, tell people I was a hippie capitalist, and I think now more than ever, I think that's what defines me is I'm hungry. I'm hungry for the dollar, but as this business elevates, my people in it are going to elevate. I have to do that. This is our one shot to get this right. And like even the people in Hamtramck, like these guys, like they're all taking ownership of this business like it's their own, from the bud tender to the manager. And like as an operator, as an owner, you have to take professional advantage of that. With all these new stores opening up, I want all these people to go through Hamtramck. Why? Because if they go through Hamtramck, they get Hamtramck, and that Hamtramck store ends up in Berkeley or Waterford. Gentlemen, it's game over. So that's why the people are so important to me, because without them, I can't expand my horizons. I can't continue to chase.
So what do you on
things.
average pay your people? Like, what does a bud tender make? What does the manager make?
A bud tender can make anywhere from $15 to $19 an hour plus tips.
That's good money.
Yeah.
Average tips probably like what, 200 a day or something?
No, it's less. It depends by the location too. No, but that's not the driver. But honestly, the other rewarding part is my bud tenders have health insurance from our company.
That's a big thing.
It's like And
you run it like a company.
Yeah,
so
we have health. I had this one employee who's no longer with us, but he had the best line. He goes, "I used to sell Ace on the street. I used to tell people $50, and they'd say, 'Man, I only got 45,' and I'd tell them, 'All right, cool.' Now I'm selling Ace in your store. I'm selling for $25. Somebody's giving me a $25 tip, and I'm getting health insurance.
It's hard to beat.
Listen,
you can't beat it. You really can't.
And
Talk about
but the opportunities are only going to expand. And for the people who want them, people who own the fucking moment.
I personally, being in the restaurant industry, measured statistics out there that say that in the pandemic, post-pandemic, the industry has lost about 40% of its workforce to the marijuana industry. And when you say things like that, $19 an hour, health insurance, $25 tips, you really can't beat it or compete. Do you feel that there's going to be a bubble within the industry? There's only so many places that you can open up a dispensary. There's only so many people who are going to purchase weed, and with the pricing decreasing so much, I can't imagine that the industry can be making money forever. Like when
forever and ever and ever.
When those prices go down like that, it shrinks it. All I think of is the middleman tax, or the people in the process to consumer to product, right? Those people are getting inched out into how they're generating income for sustainability. You've got to see this stuff as you deal with so many of these vendors on a level basis.
I do not see this thing slowing down. Michigan, we're at about 12, 13% of the municipalities have allowed this use. My guess is we'll get to 25%. It might take us 10, 15 years, but we're going to get there. I was just in New Jersey. I was just telling you guys, I got 3 licenses in New Jersey. Guys, it hasn't begun there yet. That's a state as big as Michigan that currently is at 1/1000th of where they could be as an industry. The state as a whole.
That's a good point.
We're not talking about,
Yeah. So they haven't even done what Michigan has done, which hasn't even done what Colorado and California have done.
Not even close.
Wow.
It's just starting, like now.
And more states are going to follow suit.
Mississippi followed suit last week. Connecticut, it has a lottery drawing. So take this. Quality Roots put in 45 or 50 of these applications. So you can put in as many as you wanted. I think they were $500 a piece. And the state's going to pick your name out of the hat. And if you get picked out of the hat, you get one of the 12 licenses in the state.
So for the people at home, right?
Yeah, you got to go for that. I like scratch offs, but that's
is the juice worth the squeeze? Give us a range here. Like, what's each location bringing in?
Yeah, $500,000 to $1 million a month is what most of these retail locations are doing for Quality Roots.
Right. But that doesn't count all the overhead and
listen, the tax liabilities, everything's crazy, right? And I think it's only going to get stronger as far as revenue goes, and as far as the government hopefully getting more comfortable with this use. Like, they have to get their.
Do you pay a lot in taxes?
I don't want to even talk about it.
I know I pay taxes. So you pay.
Name a tax, we pay it.
You pay payroll tax.
Name a tax.
Chicago has a sin tax. Does Michigan have a tax like that?
What is that?
A sin
So
tax.
yeah, in Chicago.
No.
They pay like a 17 to 19% on adult entertainment, cigarettes. Michigan got something
Just,
like
no,
that?
just the 10% excise tax. Nothing
10% what?
excise tax. So
Excise tax?
regular 6% sales tax, an additional 10% on top of that for the state. And if you look what the state put out a few months ago, these communities that have these stores, each one of them got $57,000 per location that was open.
Whew.
So Battle Creek got like $850,000. They had a municipal deficit of like $300,000 before it. Now they're in the greens.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's such a benefit. I think that's cities, like we were saying before we started filming. I think cities don't understand how much leverage can be had by being more cannabis friendly.
Yeah.
When now on the flip side of that, though, Eric, what do you say to people who are concerned about big cannabis sort of destroying the industry?
It's real.
Yeah. So what do you say to that? And you say it's real. So what is the danger?
The danger is man.
Marlboro pre-roll package.
That's the biggest risk of this whole thing. 100%. Quality Roots' job is to continue to focus on quality products that we're going to continue to use personally. But yeah, the floodgates are going to open here, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, 12 years, and I always joke we're going to go back to those real home growers,
Yeah.
and we still got them. Trust me, we still got them.
Well, Quality Roots. Obviously, you're expanding.
Yep.
You're growing outside of Michigan. You're in New Jersey. Who's to say that Quality Roots won't become big cannabis ultimately?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't know what tomorrow brings. All I know is that I'm not trying to be the biggest operator today. That's not my goal. I'm trying to be the most sophisticated and profitably driven.
Jeff Bezos of marijuana.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
I mean, that'd be sweet, but
Not quite.
yeah, no. I'm scared.
Actually, that's a good question. So, when you think
The management style, when you think of where you want Quality Roots to go as a brand, where it's already going, who would be maybe the super executive that you would liken yourself most to?
Wow, that's a great question.
Steve Jobs, you obviously don't wear the same thing every day. I see you got plenty of style.
He does have his Quality Roots colors going,
Yeah,
though.
they usually rock the colors. Man, that's a great question.
I'm gonna have to bring you back on so you can think about that one.
That's a great one.
Because I mean, we have so many CEOs who have star power. Obviously, you have star power as an executive and a leader of the company. And so maybe there is no competition. Maybe you are
I don't know if it's competition or like people that like somebody that I respect how they've came up, developed, and
Do you review a lot of? Did you check out like people in
Yeah,
the industry or like?
100%. If it's people in the industry, Mitch Kahn from Grassroots is somebody who I respect greatly. He's somebody who's sold out to the big guys, but ensured that his people were taken care of as that was happening. I've never met the guy, so I mean, it's not like I've had any connection to him. It's just like from a distance, seeing that he's done everything right, and that's powerful. But honestly, I'm gonna give you my quick answer. It's not even. It could be business related, but Joe Dumars.
Joe Dumars.
Joe
Yeah,
Dumars?
Joe Dumars.
Okay.
Say more.
Why Joe?
Look at the team he assembled in 2004, and nobody thought he was going to do it.
That's true.
And he focused on bringing people who probably wouldn't have ever been together if it wasn't for him. And I truly believe that that's the kind of company that we're building today.
Oh, that's a great answer to
Yeah, nice circle.
Yeah.
to bring that back. Are you a big Pistons fan? I heard you.
I'm a
casually.
I'm a sports guy, but the Pistons have a special place in my heart. My mom will tell you my first words were Vinnie Johnson. I don't know if that's real or not, but
Vinnie Johnson.
Vinnie Johnson. That's throwback. Are you an athlete? Did you play?
I played high school basketball a little bit. Other than that, hockey, baseball, everything I get my hands on. But
Nice.
I think we take the sports approach to business too sometimes, which is nice.
I think we see it a lot, and we're beginning to see it in this industry, particularly where a lot of sports figures, pro athletes, transition from professional sports into the cannabis space.
100%.
What do you think is the relationship that makes that transition? Why are athletes jumping in?
I think it's all killing the stigma.
Killing the stigma.
100%. It's like if you guys haven't watched this, you got to watch Kevin Durant's newest interview with David Letterman.
Okay.
It's amazing.
On Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
It's
So you're saying that
Kill the
there's a
stigma.
negative association that's getting removed
Yeah.
with. Do you deal with a lot of celebrities while you're in this industry?
a lot of them, we definitely help support their brands. Nothing that Quality Roots is doing in particular with anybody. But I appreciate how many people are trying to get into it and use their name to help kill that stigma.
When they use, like, what do you mean by that? Like a brand ambassador?
Yeah, brand ambassador, people who you wouldn't think would be supporting this business are supporting this business. Whether it's a Ben Wallace like we talked about, or a
Is Quality Roots taking on brand ambassadors right now?
we probably should. we probably should. I think one thing that we're definitely working on internally right now is building out our direct marketing efforts to be more organic, whether it's the street team approach or things like that. So yeah, I mean, we 100%, and we're releasing all of our own brands soon. So
I actually ran into your street team during a movement weekend.
Oh, yeah,
and
we were
I
out
got
there.
a Quality Roots poker chip,
Hell
which
yeah.
I thought was pretty fun.
Reusable.
It's reusable. I gave
Well,
it
you
up.
bring it in, and I could pass it out again, right?
Oh yeah, it's reusable for y'all. Absolutely. You got some on deck. See?
I always have at least one poker chip in my pocket.
Let that boy ride.
Super smooth. Yeah.
Hey man, I really appreciate the thought and purpose that goes into the type of marketing that you guys got. So you turn this in for a pre-roll,
That's it.
man.
The quality Roots poker chip I got was $10 off my entire order.
And don't even do it. It's $10 off. You could just brought it in, spend $10, you're out of there, you're all good, no problem.
So actually, as we talk about and get ready to wrap, as we talk about the importance and the value of employees, and alongside the fact that you're expanding, if people want to come to work with or partner with Quality Roots, what should they do? How would they get in touch?
You should, start with the stores for sure, because the people at the stores will talk to you about what it means to work at Quality Roots right away. If you don't have the ability to get to the store, or you just want to do something a little bit more low key, go straight to getqualityroots.com. We have a career page where you can submit questions, submit your information. We have an amazing HR team that is getting back to everybody that's reaching out to us. So I think it's pretty simple.
Amazing. Well, it has been quite an honor and pleasure to have this conversation.
This is easy, man. This is any day, all day, whatever you want. Just
Before we wrap, though, let the community know one last time, some of the last and final messages you want to convey about Quality Roots, especially as it relates to this community and our audience being primarily Detroit, an audience that you're looking to break into. Maybe give us a preview of some of the things you hope to accomplish with this community.
I think the biggest thing that I want people to take away is, if you give us a shot to earn your trust, I promise that we'll keep that trust for as long as we can. That's the key. Give us one shot, and we'll try our best to make sure that you come back. Beyond that, we're a business that is taking care of our people, and by people I mean customers and employees. And that goes to just being real. We're just real people. You're a dollar short sometimes. Let us know. You're you want something on hold because you want to come back in 2 days. Let us know. We're just real people, and just be real with us. And it's as simple as that. You go to the same bodega all the time because you like the selection, you like the people, you like the convenience. Make us that spot. And just looking for consistency.
That's amazing. Consistency is key. Well, there you have it, folks. This has been the Take Detroit show with our special guest, Aric Klar. As you have it here with Quality Roots as well as Toyology, one of the places where you can get value as well as top shelf, where the growers do more than just sing to their plants. The hot fire. All right. We'll see you guys next time. And again, thank you to our sponsors, Element CBD Water. If you guys have any special guests you'd like to see, let us know. Take Detroit. I'm your host, God.